Hi, my name's Dawn Davies and I'm here today to talk to you about Concordia from Damoiseau. So Damoiseau is a distillery that was essentially the old Bellevue distillery in Guadeloupe, and Guadeloupe is famous for its agricole rums. It is one of the few countries in the world that can actually call their rums agricole. Now, interestingly enough, this isn't an agricole, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So Bellevue actually was a distillery that fell into disrepair and was eventually abandoned, and it was brought back to light in 1942 and is today run by Hervé Damoiseau, so still in the family. And this is a distillery that I've sort of grown to love more and more and more. You know, they use sort of very traditional methods, the traditional column stills. They use a lot of kind of lovely sort of oak, toasted oak. This is actually from a recharred bourbon barrel. And everything's very balanced from this distillery. You still have that lovely character of that fresh sugarcane juice. But this one's a little bit different because sort of small percentage of it, but I think about 40%, actually is from a traditional Guadeloupe molasses-based rum. And then the rest from the Damoiseau stable of agricole rums. And as I said, it's put into recharred bourbon barrels and then aged for around 4 years. So on the nose, I really like this. You get that sort of hint of agricole, that slightly sort of funky sort of banana, that slightly herbaceous note. A little bit of that sort of what I call sort of sesame oil, sort of slight nuttiness, which I often find in agricole. And then behind that, you get these notes of vanilla and spices and that little bit of richness, that sort of toffee apple that I associate potentially with a molasses-based rum. On the palate, it's really, really interesting. It's quite perfumed. It's got this lovely, slightly incense spice character. It's got that lovely freshness. Again, as I said, that sort of nuttiness that I associate very much with agricole comes through on the finish. This is a really, really delicious rum, either to drink on its own, throw a couple of cubes of ice in it, or you know what, I'd really love to try this in a maybe, say, a rum Manhattan or something like that, something that's just got a little bit of bite to it. I think it would work really, really well. So, cheers.